Relationships aren't always black and white. They ebb and flow with ups, downs, and those gray zones where you wonder if it's just a rough patch or the end. Before you make the call, take a breath and run through these essential checks. They're not about forcing you to stay, they're about making sure you're walking away or staying with clarity, not just raw emotion. Hello, I'm Renee, and this is
Mike, Kyla, how are you today?
Well, I'm pumped. This topic is awesome, but I just want to say, how you guys doing with the festivities? Michaela, are you enjoying yourself?
Christmas was pretty good, yeah. Kind of fun. A lot of food, like always, eating, and you keep eating. It's 26 and we're still eating. It's 27 and you're still eating.
Yeah.
A lot of food.
Yeah, and how about those people who had turkey at Thanksgiving and now had turkey at Christmas? Well, gobble, gobble, guys. And if you chose to have something else, be it chicken or fish or pork or
Shrimps.
or shrimps
Prawns.
or breadcrumbs or dog biscuit, whatever you chose. Hey, yum, yum, yum. Merry Christmas.
Exactly.
And also, happy Hanukkah and happy whatever, and happy pre-Chinese New Year and happy everything, okay? Happy celebration of the universe. But guys, well, Michaela, I'm going to throw a topic at you, which is pause and reflect. Essential checks before walking away from your relationship. And well, we're not going to get too complicated here. It's more common sense. But hey, Michaela, what's up? I mean, what should you really check on? Or what do you think one should check on before saying, hey, I'm done? Because I personally feel, and I'm not saying we have to be soft, but at the same time, I personally feel there's way too many people dropping and like throwing the towel over, hey, you didn't go see my mother on Tuesday. That's it. What do you think about that, Michaela?
I do. There's a lot of walking away from a relationship, even if you're married, for things that maybe weren't so hard to deal with. Like you just said, oh, why did you decided not to go to see my mother this weekend? So I can deal with this. This is the end of the world, and I can go through with this relationship because you don't respect my mother because she was waiting for you and blah, blah, blah. It's over. That's a little bit exaggerated, I think. There are more important things in a relationship than that might be maybe with a lot more difficult to deal with. Maybe things that you should take more in consideration, that things like you didn't see my mom this weekend. Like, I don't know, is this person very disrespectful and rude to you and manipulative, or how does this person treat you, all that kind of stuff are a lot more I don't know how to say that, more interesting to deal with. And I mean, when I'm saying interesting, is that how can you deal with someone who is not respecting you all the time? I think that is a thing that you have to actually focus on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like these expectations and folks, they start out as expectations, but then it's kind of like they turn into demands. And you know what? Hey, you didn't see my mother, there we go again. You didn't see my mother on Tuesday. It's like, well, you didn't see my mother on Wednesday. Come on, folks.
Yeah.
I know over, and the dogs, of course, have
to say what
share
they
their.
have to say because even they think this is absurd.
It's absurd, and yet people have these horrible fights.
Yes.
I know. Yeah, I know, Michaela. I know of couples that have spats over. Hey, okay, so it's gonna be Thanksgiving, so, and right now we're closer to Christmas, obviously, than Hanukkah, but it's gonna be Thanksgiving, and well, I wanted to know, is it like, does my mom get Thanksgiving lunch or dinner? Well, obviously lunch. No, it's dinner. No, lunch, dinner. No, nah, I hate you.
Last
No, yeah.
time my mom had to got the lunch. So this year it's your mom. No, it was the other way around. No, it wasn't like that. So it's the big mess and it's a big problem when it's really, guys, something very easily. It's a problem who is very easily solved. You can find a solution in 5 seconds.
And yet people get divorced over this, folks. Yes, this is how ridiculous this is. People get divorced
And
over
at
this.
the end of the day, I think it's better to say 1 year you go to your mother, and the next year you go to my mother. And if we spend holiday like Thanksgiving with your mother, well, Christmas will be with my mom, and New Year's Eve we are going to do something different. I don't know, maybe we reunite both families, or maybe we go out with friends, and that's it. End of story.
Yeah,
Problem solved. Next.
yeah, exactly. No, I think if you do one of the days, like, well, now I'm thinking more Hanukkah, Christmas versus New Year. Hey, okay, you've all that family, we decided it. You know what? New Year's we're going to Yosemite. Okay, just the family and maybe a couple of friends. All right, not extended family. I'm sorry, maybe for some people it might work beautifully. For others, it doesn't. But for it to get to the point where it could be a reason of divorce, that's when really there's a load of poison in the dynamic. I mean, in the family dynamic, it's like, come on, we're trying to be as balanced as we can, and then there's poison thrown. You know what? I don't want to. I mean, it reminds me of that movie, The Family Stone, all about the venom in the family. You know. So I mean, I think these sorts of celebrations and that should be celebrated with family, but if they can't be, okay, good. And as for New Year, that's just my humble opinion, bringing in more of the venom in terms of, no, you're with me. No, you're with me. No, that this side, the Kingston family is better than the Queenston family. And really, it sounds like Romeo and Juliet regurgitate vomits.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it's gross, folks.
Yes.
And those,
yes, it's gross.
it's awful. And you know what? I was talking with a relative the other day. I said, how do you handle it? I'm like, you have family up your ass every weekend. I said, do you ever escape with your husband and your child? And she said, we're trying to do more of that. We're trying to do more of that because really, nobody's ever fully happy. If I go with one family, like if we go with one family, then the other family gets offended and vice versa. And it's so disgusting. And I said, I've been there, done that. I'm not in it. I said, I really admire you. I mean, I think you do Zen and maybe pot. I don't know. I'm like, but I really admire you. And she said, you know what? I'm succeeding more and more because my husband agrees with me. Because we love our families, but we are our own family. You know, we're a family of, we don't need to be splitting ourselves between my overbearing mother-in-law and her husband, or my overbearing mother and my father, and I'm like, yeah, you've got a clear head. So if I,
Yeah, the thing is, um, sometimes it's kind of hard to deal with families, but as this person just said, I mean, we are our own family, and we need to get into some agreement between us to find a solution to know how to deal with our families.
yeah,
And at some point, if you are smart enough, because I mean, how many times you end up hearing to people who come to us say, "Oh, I can stand the way he used his toothbrush, and the way he puts it, all the beer in the sink and stuff, all this kind of stuff." And I have told him 100 times to take care of it, and he doesn't. And I get it. It can be something very disgusting for some of us, but at the end of the day, if this person, you start just yelling at your husband because of that, it's gonna to escalate and escalate, and it's gonna be a very big problem. So find a solution about this problem, or as a friend end up doing, you know what, this is my bathroom, this is your bathroom.
well, those clear lines,
and you don't use my bathroom, and I won't use your bathroom, and end of story. And I know it's hard, because sometimes you're, it's the main room, and we have a sink for each of us, and if it's his sink, don't use his sink, and that's it.
yes.
And if you have to share a sink and you have another bathroom, seriously, change your bathroom. If your husband and relationship, other than that, it's the problem there, the only really problem that you can see, the way he how messy he is in the bathroom, but at the end of the day, all the other stuff are good. You don't want to go into a divorce because the guy is a mess with the bathroom. I mean, use another bathroom. I know maybe it's not the ideal situation because you have your dressing room over there, but at the end of the day, you won't be fighting with your husband because you have to share a sink, and he is not able to understand that you want him to clean all the beer that he's just leaving there. So I think that you can have that kind of solution and find that solution, or find another thing that, now we have these kind of plastic bags that you can put in the sink in order to deal with that kind of stuff. But you can always find a solution about that, the same way you can find a solution to deal with families. But it won't be able if one of you is like, no, my family is the better one, and you don't understand because it's my mother. And when you can see that your partner is just like defending his family, and his family is the best one in the world, and there's no way this person is going to change this and put your family, I'm not saying your wife's family or your husband's family. What I'm saying is your own family, the one you are creating, both of you. Before that, well, there's an issue there.
Yeah, obviously, if they always prioritize their own families, well,
yeah.
If that continues, guys, that's a huge red flag.
That's a big problem, because that's gonna be a fight all over again, and then maybe it's gonna escalate, and this problem is gonna be bigger and bigger, and maybe that's why you will end up divorcing, because this person is not able to understand that you have your own family. You are, both of you, a family.
Looking for real conversations about love, connection, and everything in between? Listen to Love Hacks. Honest, heartfelt, and in 4 languages: English, Espanol, Francais, and Portuguese. Find your version wherever you get your podcast. See you soon.
But otherwise, if you are able to, if you have a partner who is smart enough to find a solution and understand that, okay, as we just said, we can spend Thanksgiving with your family, and we can spend Hanukkah with mine, and we can New Year's Eve we might find a way to be all together, or maybe we are going out with friends, and like that we don't have to deal with our families.
Yeah. Which is, in my opinion, guys, I know we love our families, but if you have the loving, I mean, this is, Michaela, this is me speaking on my own, but if you are happily married, I'm giving it a 5 to 10 year range first. This is your partner, right? And that is he or she is your priority. And if you have offspring, well, that's your nuclear family, right? So you're going to try to attain that close to perfect happiness with those people, with your spouse and your offspring, over your extended family. Now, if you don't have that, granted, like and that doesn't say anything less of you. You did not build a family, or you had no kids, you're a single person. That's fine too. Or if you're divorced, okay, you're a little bit caught in the middle. You're like, okay, I have my offspring, but I don't have a spouse, but I have my parents, but my spouse has his parents. I have my siblings, my spouse has his or her siblings. You got to strike a balance. So each situation presents a different set of challenges. But once you find out where you can obtain the most happiness from each situation, then I say, hey, okay, go for that. And everything else, well, you know what? God bless you, but I'm going to be okay. And my loved ones are going to be okay. And that's what it's about. It's being in the present and making the right choices. What do you think about that, Michaela?
I do agree with you. Totally. At the end of the day, depending on what are you going to choose, stay or leave, at the end of the day, you have to be sure about what you are going to do. At the end of the day, if you think that you have tried a lot to make this situation work and this relationship work, and the other person is not able to see your effort, and you are like, I should have end up this long ago, because this person is, I just can't make her see my point of view and what it hurts me, and that's always his own opinion who matters. Well, if you have tried everything you had to, at the end of the day, it's going to be hard, because, well, I think it's going to be hard for some, honestly.
Yeah.
For others, maybe not that much, because they are sure about the decision they are going to take. But it's like, well, you're leaving something that you wanted to work behind, and it's a story that is going to end. Even if you feel that you are doing the right thing, and you feel like confident, and you feel that you are kind of free, and you're not feeling like you're gonna be depressed and stuff like that, because I mean, you are at the end of the day, you will lose something, right? You will lose a story that you will trying to build with someone. Yeah. And all the past that you have with this person, I don't know if it's a long story or a short story or a medium story, but at the end of the day, you were trying to build something and a story, and there's some past in there, good or bad, but at the end of the day, it's something that you're gonna just leave behind you, and you have to deal with all the consequences after leaving, because it's not like, okay, I'm leaving, but then, oh yeah, I have to take all my stuff, and I have to see if there is a divorce and the lawyers and the agreements. It's a lot of things after.
Yeah. Yes.
It's not like I'm leaving and that's the end of the story. Sometimes it is like, take your stuff, I take mine. I have no intention to take a thing from you. What was mine is mine. take the things that you want, leave me these ones, and that I just want this and this and this, and that you can take everything else, right? It
Right.
could be very easily, but at some point sometimes it's not that easy, but you have to deal with that,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
a long process. And if you stay, well, maybe you are like thinking about it, you don't know if you want to stay because you've been trying, or yeah, but I don't want to, I don't know, to think that I didn't try harder, all these thoughts that we can have and overthinking about living, because sometimes you're like, yeah, but I think that I'm just walking away too easily, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot to hold, but I mean, when you feel it's done, well, yeah, you walk away with dignity, right? Not lowering yourself to insults, even if they attack you. I'm not saying turn the other cheek. I'm saying let it slide, which is not really turning the other cheek. It's just like,
Like Barama, like Michelle Obama would say, when they go low, you go high.
yeah, you must keep your dignity. I've learned the hard way, but yeah, it's way more effective to be like, okay, you punched me. I really feel like punching you back, but you know what? No, I'm going to take the higher step. I'm going to ignore you because you're a piece of trash,
Yeah.
right? And that is actually more woundful in the long run. Sometimes it takes us a while to say, how is this going to hurt this other person? But it will have a way harder effect in the long run. And it is hard, but yeah. I mean, if
Yeah. I agree. It's hard.
yeah, it's hard, especially if like I have well, Michaela, I have a hard temper, and for me it's extra hard. But honestly, it is way more effective if you grab a towel, say all the curse words you want into the towel, but you keep your dignity and you let them rot.
Yeah,
Oh,
and sometimes if this person is abusive, if this person is not someone who respects you, who values you and wants you to be like a servant or more like a maid or something like that, you don't have to stay with someone like that. You didn't
oh,
you didn't get married to be the maid of anyone, or to deal with a guy who wants to be served like he was a god or something.
no, of course not. Nobody gets married to be a maid. Well, unless you really are living under a rock. But I mean, yeah, I mean, a marriage is teamwork, and maybe your job is not as conventional as the other person, but that doesn't mean you're not putting in the input, and the strive and the desire to create a very harmonious household, right? I mean, it's not like hey, I want to be World War V, master of the universe, destroyer of my home and everywhere. No, you usually get married to become a team, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the idea.
Yeah. So those people that attack you out of because they don't see you going out to earn your keep in the traditional sense, well, again, are they traditional? Because traditional is old, people. I want you guys to realize, of any age, and I'm not saying, hey, you got to be very avant-garde, because what is avant-garde? It can change tomorrow. Andy Warhol today is considered not obsolete, but not Gen Z. I mean, he's just in his prime, he was avant-garde. But today, for a Generation Z, he's a classic. So it's a contradiction. So these terms to define times and people's stuff, that's nonsense.
Absolutely.
It's nonsense. At the end of the day, it's like, okay, you got married. Now, you obviously, if you have any bit of intelligence, you know that a marriage is going to be a team.
Well,
Even
that's
in
the
a,
idea. Yeah, that's the idea. Because at the end of the day, I don't know if it's about being smart. Because sometimes I don't
no,
know.
a team. Okay, let's say the
It's
smart
so
part.
in let's say that it's supposed to be so obvious that you are
Mhm.
getting with married with someone, or maybe not getting married but moving with someone to be a team because you want the same kind of stuff to be together. And when I'm saying that you want the same kind of things, maybe you're moving together because you want to have kids and and have a family with this person, or maybe you want to move with this person because you have a very fun time and you complement each other and you have a very good time together and you support each other in every single way. But sometimes you have that idea that we are a team, but the other person doesn't have a
That,
clue how to
so,
be a team.
yeah.
And you are like,
Um,
okay, I'm trying to explain to you how to be a team, but this person is like, it's my way or it's not. And that's when everything is going through hell, because it's not about doing things one way or another way. It's about finding the way to do things as a team. Of course, there are things from some of us that you won't like. Like, I don't like how messy you are. Well, I'm sorry, I'm messy. And you have to deal with that, because a person who is messy is always going to be messy.
mhm.
This person is not going to change. This person is a mess and always be a mess. Maybe this person is going to try to be less messy, but this person doesn't even realize that she's living in a mess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they're so used to their mess. So
Exactly.
that's
And that's maybe the way they see their order. I can talk about my son. He's a messy guy. But if you move something, he's
and
like, what the hell are you doing? Everything was in order. For him, that was his order, and you have to respect that. And just saying to someone, and in my case, I'm not a messy person. I always have like my space is always like in very good order and clean and stuff. But I always have, like in Friends, Monica has her dressing room or something, I don't know, a closet, I guess it was, where she had a lot of messy stuff, just throwing stuff in that closet.
uh-huh.
I have my closet like that. I'm not saying that my clothes are messy, but I have a space always who I threw things and it's kind of messy. But that's like, I don't know, maybe the corner of my room that has a lot of just messy stuff. But the other things are kind of clean and perfectly ordered and something like that. So yeah, I have my space who I can be messy, but it's just that little corner, or as Monica Geller has her closet. But sometimes you have messy people who are like, I don't like the way we live because it's a mess. And you look around and like, yeah, whose stuff are they? You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You want to be live like, to have a house who is clean and order. Well, you are the messy one, so keep your things in order, but don't make a scene because everything is a mess. And even with all these little things, let's say in messy places, the house doesn't look messy. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
It's like, yeah, maybe that bottle shouldn't be there, but it doesn't really matter. Or maybe you have the, I don't know, the bowl of your pet somewhere next to the, I don't know, microwave, let's say. And what on earth is that bowl doing there? But at the end of the day, if the bowl stays there, there's no problem, because that's not a big mess thing. I mean, like, yeah, it has nothing to do there, but it's not like, oh my God, I'm gonna kill myself because it's a mess. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, it's there, but if nobody take it off, it's not going to bother anyone actually, because it's just there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the kind of things that people are like, oh, this is a very good mess. And like, well, if you don't like where the ball is, put it in another place, in a good place. But if you don't do it, don't pretend that other people are going to do it, because maybe for the other person it's not a problem.
Exactly. Well, that's it. Well, you said it. I mean, it's a little bit like looking at a piece of a like let's grab, I don't know, the classic Picasso Guernica. Guernica. Some people look at that painting or mural, and well, it's not a mural; it is a painting, and they're like, what the, ooh? And then other people are like, this is the most impressive piece of art
I never
I
seen.
have ever. And talking to people who have both studied at Harvard and then did a master's at Cambridge in art and whatever, and they're from the same generation, and yet when they look at the same painting, their opinions are vastly different.
Exactly.
And you can't say, hey, you're right, you're wrong. No, you can't. I mean, you can form teams, but that still doesn't determine who's right or wrong.
Exactly. And you cannot say to your partner, we are going to live the way I want to live because it's not normal that the ball is just next to the microwave. Well, for you it's a problem. If it's for you it's a problem, take this ball away. But you cannot pretend that the other person is going to think the same way and see stuff the same way as you.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I don't like when people clean sometimes and move all my stuff, because they are not putting my stuff in the same place that I put it. Maybe it's an inch to the right. If for me it's an inch out of place, you know? So I know that the person who is cleaning my house, even if I'm like, can you just, take, I don't know, the flowers and just, take it and clean there and just put it back. This person might say, okay, I can do it. But maybe the next day, this person is going to clean and it's going to put it an inch off and on the right. And I'm going to be like, it's an inch off the right. That's a bug. That's bugging me. Oh my God, I'm going to kill myself. What I'm doing is like, okay, I put it in the right place. That's it. I just go after she cleaned, I'm just putting things in the right place. But I cannot pretend that this person is going to put the things always at the place I need them to be. Because that's my messy problem in my head. That's my PSD, that's my thing, that's my illness, right?
Yeah.
And I cannot pretend that everyone has to deal with my problem. My PTSD or whatever you want to tell, that's my problem. That's my obsession. That's my problem. That's my psychology problem that I have. That's me. I have to deal with that.
Exactly.
So how can I deal with that? But making a scene and making everybody uncomfortable? No. I learned how to do it. I know the lady's gonna clean, right? And I have to go after and put everything in the place I need these things to be.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to put everyone on jeopardy and make a scene and everyone's going to be uncomfortable because my flowers were an inch off to the right.
Yeah, because everybody's going to be like, are you freaking nuts?
Exactly. So when someone is acting like that and all the things are out of place are not even yours, but the person who is making all the scene, the way you see this person is like, seriously, you have problems, dude.
Yeah, like you need to shrink. Talk to Grok.
You know what? Just go take a peel and get some sleep, my friend, because seriously. you have problems.
Yeah, don't be another Andy Dick. Whoever knows about that guy.
So
Poor guy. Yeah.
a person
Tough.
who is always acting like that, it's gonna end up um, destroying everything, because you can deal with this situation maybe a year or two, but maybe the third one is like, I have enough.
Yeah. And well, Michaela, well, I think we've pushed our point, and I just want to throw this for those of you who are, I'd say, baby boomers, Generation X's, and millennials. But hey, we're educating you folks, the Gen Zs, and if there's somebody in between, my apologies. But hey, don't be an Andy Dick. That guy actually exists. Be Dick Van Dyke. Guys, Dick Van Dyke is he's from Mary Poppins. He's 100 years old, folks, and he is strong and healthy because of his attitude. All right?
Yeah, be relax. Seriously, I'm not saying that you have to be consenting everything, but sometimes you can find solutions to make your relationship work, but sometimes the other person is not willing to. Well, maybe it's sad, but you have to move on. But if you are able to see that there's something you can do about it, don't go away just because a stupid thing.
Exactly. If the relationship's worth it, fight for it. You're going to have your differences, but again, be a Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Guys, I really recommend him. That is one of the most positive people I've ever seen in my life. I've never met him in person. I wish I could. But I'll
Yeah.
say this actor, amazing attitude, does yoga every day. He's married to a younger woman, yes, but he's 100. Okay, the guy.
Not easy to find someone his age.
He's completely lucid, jumping around left, right, and center because he has said it. He doesn't poison himself. Yeah, people are always going to talk and criticize.
Always.
But yeah, and that's when you say, okay, be true. As I think it comes from the Shakespearean play Hamlet. Be true to yourself. And this is me talking now. Go to bed with a peaceful conscience. I mean, don't let, and trust me, a few months ago I went to bed angry, and you know what happened to me, folks? Now I got a crackling noise in my ear, which I think is tinnitus, but that's my problem. Do not go to bed angry, okay? And take the most positive, but genuinely positive, not, hey, I recommend eating apples for a month.
Yeah, no. Guys, seriously, do the work. If you see that there is hope and possibilities to heal your relationship and go further in your relationship, do it. But if you have tried everything and there's nothing more to do, we understand that you have to move on. But now, in these generations, everybody is moving and even take the time to try to save something. They are like just, disposable things. And a relationship is not easy. Relationships you have to work on. You have to try as much as you can, but always with respect. If someone is not taking you in a responsible way and treating you well and respecting you and having your back, this person is not worthy. That's all I have to say. So I hope it's gonna work for you, and I hope we are helping you to find a right solution. And we wish you a happy new year.
Mm-hmm.
And I will see, we will see you next time, right?
Yes, we will. We will, and we wish you all the best, but the truest, not flaky bakey.
Exactly.
Positive vibes we can share with you, okay? We want you to do well, whether you remain in that relationship or not. We hope our words have helped you, okay? Each relationship is different. So just use your criteria. We all have a sense of criteria. Follow that little voice, folks, and have yourselves a wonderful new year. Really, may this 2026 be freaking amazing. And I share this with Makayla.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we will see you next year.
We will. Yeah.
Bye
Yes.
for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.